Start going, ooh. And it comes on. And none of it is pleasant feeling. Start feeling sweaty at the same time as this. Hi everybody, my name is Troy. I really wanted to talk about this. This is something that I've kind of held on to for a long time, but this is my breakthrough on Sa1via, or what Sa1via would feel like to somebody. I did Sa1via Divinorum when I was just a youngin', 18 years old. Then I'm now 26, so that was 8 years ago. And it comes back to you piece by piece, but it stayed with me for sure. There's pieces of it that I think were very important, and ego deaths that I lived in it that stayed with me. And there's this feeling in it, this not pleasant feeling. Nothing's very fun at all, but it's also kind of fun at the same time. I don't know how to exactly describe it. I will say I wouldn't tell anybody to do it. It is by far my least favorite psychedelic out of all the psychedelics. It is not fun, but it is powerful, and it can just blast you to the moon, son. That's what happened to me, and here's my story on basically how that happened. So, basically, I'm a kid, and I walked into the smoke shop, and there's two things in the smoke shop that can quote unquote do something for you, like get you stoned or get you high in an altered state of mind. Both of these things at the smoke shop I've never tried, but they always kind of are like a playground rumor, right? The first one was Kratom, and the second one was Sa1via. At the time, I hadn't really gotten my hands on any psychedelics in college, and I kind of wanted an experience. Like it had been like 3 months or something like that. And I was starting to be like, I want to feel some psychedelic experience. I started reading online about Sa1via and how Sa1via can be the most potent psychedelic, and it's legal. Now, those two things, I was like, whoa, that's uncommon for me. I've never heard the most potent psychedelic, but I could also just buy it at the gas station, right? So I go to my local smoke shop, and they have 20x, 40x, 60x, 80x. And I go, hey, yo, what's the difference? What am I looking at with these X's? The guy goes, oh, well, 20x is for one person mild trip, right? And you'll smoke a lot of it. I'm trying to figure out like how much of this am I gonna need? Because I'd heard you just stuff the bong full and you just smoke it till you pass out, basically. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what I'd heard. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm asking the guy, and he's like, well, 20x is like it's a decent amount, but it's kind of for beginners and one person type of deal. And I'm like, all right, well, it's gonna be me, my girlfriend, and my roommate that want to try it. So there's 3 of us. So I'm thinking of the 20x, that's how much if I smoked all of the Sa1via, I got 20x Sa1via. So I'm thinking, all right, we're gonna need 3 bowls. So I got 60x Sa1via. I didn't realize just a gram of Sa1via was enough for all 3 bowls, but the 20x, 40x, 60x, 80x was not telling me how much was in it. It was telling me how strong the Sa1via was. So for a first timer, they recommend 20x. I had bought one time 3 times stronger than what I was supposed to be buying. I had no idea. I thought, phew, I just did good. I'd never even heard of this stuff. Somebody, some dude just told me about it. Go to my dorm, and I load the bong up. I have my girlfriend sitting on the bed next to me, and my roommate is sitting on the bed across the room from us watching. And we're all like, all right, let's see who's got, the most balls of steel, who's gonna go first. Of course, it was me. I'll be the test dummy. So I grabbed the bong, I load it as fat as I can, and I remember I take 1 hit, and I inhale it. And then as I'm inhaling it, I feel nothing at all. It just feels like I inhaled an incense. I inhaled it for 10 seconds, and I could just feel myself getting light-winded. So I breathe it out, and I go back and I hit it again. As I hit it the second time, the bong starts drifting away from me. I'm going, oh, okay, so I kind of feel it. So I sit there and I hold it in for another 10 seconds, and the third hit comes. I exhale that. On the exhale, the bong is moving across the room to me, but I'm in it. My head's still in the game. So I'm like, bro, I can rip this one more time. Put my head to it. My arm just reaches all the way out, and I start lighting this bong, and I'm totally distorted. Inhale it, and I instantly go back. There was no exhale. There's no holding the third hit. I just instantly out of body experience. And I shit you not, this video, and I'll link it at the bottom, it's from Freedom Shapes. This music is exactly what it sounds like when you start to go into it. Start going, ooh. And it comes on. And none of it is pleasant feeling. Start feeling sweaty at the same time as this. And the music gets rapider and quicker. And you hear those like do 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 do. The way that the music is on it basically is that there will be like these do do do, kind of like a bass line, but it's sporadic. I had instantly fallen back and I see a million people in front of me. These people all have no face at all. They're just a blank, like a mannequin looking at me. And all of them, as this music's going do 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 do, they're all getting hit in the head with a door. And it's like a line of doors just swinging in at us, kind of like Monsters, Inc. I don't know if I'd be able to fully explain it other than the Monsters, Inc. room where there's all the doors. But it's like this line of doors is coming, and they're just do, hitting me, hitting the dude in front of me, hitting the dude behind me, and we're just all on this line, getting hit by doors that match this music. I feel sweaty, nothing feels right, and I don't even realize I'm on a drug. Like, I swear, you don't even know anything's different. You just know that this reality is not right and something's off. As I'm getting hit by these doors, it's not registering in my brain like, hey, bozo, you should probably move out of the way. You're just getting slapped in the face by doors every second. It's not registering at all. So I look in front of me, and the mannequin does it actually. He twists his head like this, and then he looks back at me to see if I'm doing it. And as he twists his head, the doors fly over, and they don't hit his head. So I go, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do, as I'm just getting pelted with doors. So I twist my head, and I look behind me, just like he looked at me. And I see a line of just people, front ways and back ways. Nobody has a face. And we're all in this, getting hit in the face by doors. And we're all trying to turn our way out of it. Soon as that happens, I turn around. I get hit in the back of the head by another door. And I turn around, and it's all started again. And the dude in front of me turns. I go, all right, turn with him. And I turn probably 3 or 4 times. By this point, I have no idea what's up or down. And I get sent into it. Now, getting sent into it, I zoom out on the line that we all were with our faces blank, getting hit by doors. And what the doors were representing was this author. And this author was writing down the letter I. And we were just a straight line in the I, basically. This author has like a book and a quill and ink type thing. You know, he dips it. And we were the I, and the ink coming in was basically, we were all the atoms, and the ink was just painting us through, which was like the doors. At the end of it, we all became one, where we all basically, what I would interpret it as like die, and we all become one. But we all become one, and we only became a single letter on this huge paragraph page. It was like pages of just this author writing his big paragraphs of the book of life. And you just zoom out and see that essentially, everything that you ever would think that you are is a mere millisecond, like a fraction of a wink of what life is. If you think of the dinosaurs, think of all of the vast story of life, we are just a blink, just barely anything of it. So I have this epiphany mid-trip while we zoom out, and I see that I was getting smacked in the face to become the letter I on the book of life. And while I'm zooming out, this man grabs me around the shoulder, and I look at him, and it's this dude with a big bright top hat, and he's basically the carnival master. And he's just happy as can be, laughing at everything. His laugh makes me off. Like it's almost a creepy laugh, like the Joker laugh. you still don't feel safe, but I kind of feel like he fucks with me. Like he's gonna let me slide type of situation. So I'm like, all right, well, what's this carnival gonna consist of? Instantly I'm at college, in my bed again, like all of a sudden I'm in my bed, but my girlfriend, who's like probably 2 feet from me, I have no idea she's there. I'm in a completely different room, just in my bed, and these lights are going on, and they'll flash on somebody on his bed, and they'll pull the covers up, and on the covers there was like a face or something on it, and the lights would it would do that. Everybody would laugh around me, and then lights would cut off, and it would flash onto another bed, and then he would pull something over his sheets. Everybody would laugh, and the lights would cut off, and then the lights went on me, and it was just on me. I couldn't see anybody, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't have my bed sheet ready yet. I didn't know this was happening, Mr. Carnival Master. Everybody starts booing me, and everybody's like upset, and I can feel it. And I go, oh no, this isn't good. Maybe if I'm like collective with others. So I try to go onto another person's bed, like I'm like, bro, help me out. I don't know what to do. And everybody around me is just looking at me like, bro, you have to figure this out on your own. Eventually, I pull my sheet over, and they wouldn't move off of me until I pulled my sheet over. It felt like an eternity. As I pull my sheet over, we go into a completely another place with the Carnival Master. Now, this part of the trip, I don't really have too much memory on. I don't think that this was too much of an important side of things. There's times where I'll get pieces of it, and then it'll just leave me again. But I was basically with this Carnival Master, and we had changed places 2 to 3 times. By the end of it, I was laughing like the Carnival Master. I was having a blast, and I was starting to understand their humor. I was like, okay, this world is starting to make sense to me. As soon as I felt that this world is starting to make sense to me, and I'm laughing, I'm having a good time, my trip starts ending, and I start getting pulled into reality. And I just remember coming into reality and genuinely being disappointed and wanting to go back into Sa1via and just being like, no, please, this isn't it. This is not all that there is. That was too quick. I need longer, right? So I've come out of it. My girlfriend and my roommate are both looking at me in stun, and I'm like, what happened? What did I do? And they were just talking about how I was tossing and turning and just laughing my ass off the whole time. And it looked amazing. They were all like, oh man, I can't wait to try this. That looked like you had a serious breakthrough and an awesome time. And I did. And I had taken a lot away from it. I did truly have a great time and a great breakthrough. We give it to my girlfriend next, and she had the worst trip you could ever possibly imagine. I might have her tell the story one day, but she would say that it was probably one of the worst trips that she ever had. She started screaming mid-trip instead of laughing like I was. Screaming at the top of her lungs. And we were in my dorm, my college dorm. So I didn't want somebody to think this chick was getting kidnapped or something like that. So I'm trying to put my hand over her mouth because some cop's gonna come in and they're gonna realize we're just freaking smoking drugs. So I'm like, all right, I gotta calm her down. And I put my hand over her mouth, and she'd start trying to squirm away and run outside. She's trying to open the door to the room and go outside. And she has no idea who anybody is around her. I assume she was in the bed state with me, where you kind of know where you are in the room, but you are not hallucinating the people with you. You're in a whole nother universe in this position in your room. It's weird, but we had to stop her and restrain her for basically the entire trip. The whole time she was gonna go outside or maybe hurt herself or fall off my bed because it's a bunk bed. So after my roommate saw her have a bad trip and she came back and she was like, I never want to do that ever again. Nobody wanted to do it ever again. He never tried it. I had tried it one more time, and I started to get to that point with the music and the sweatiness, and I just honestly didn't want to go deeper because it's a very euphoric experience. A normal psychedelic like mushrooms or something like that is very euphoric, and it feels good. Even if you're mentally battling demons and you're having a bad trip, a typical bad trip, usually still feels good and it's still euphoric at the very least. This is the opposite. Like it does not feel good. It feels off. It feels wrong. It doesn't like feel euphoric, and they call it a euphoric sensation. I would agree with that. So whenever I start to feel that come on, I just kind of shy away, and I have not been able to smoke it like that one time until I blast off. And I did have 3 times as strong as somebody should for their first time. So that there's also that. We should not have been doing it that strong, but I thought it was a very interesting experience, and I met a lot of people that were honestly very surprised that I had this experience and this kind of good trip from Sa1via, this like breakthrough, and I was able to take so much insightfulness from it. And it's been so long since the trip happened, and I've still retained all of that basically. It hasn't just gone away and it was like, oh, I need to smoke more Sa1via. I would say Sa1via is one of those things you truly do not need or want to keep doing. Like it could change your life and you're just good with that. You don't need to keep going any further. So that's kind of my experience. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Please feel free to share down below any experiences you've had on Sa1via, or maybe anything that you've heard of or anything like that. I would love to get your feedback or maybe your thoughts on it. As always, my fellow psychonauts, is Troy with Sonoran Spores, and I'm out. Peace.